asking amazing questions that actually make me think on my feet, which is a good exercise. If you have heard me if you've stalked me on YouTube and you know who you are,
yes.
And you've watched the videos of me making a jackass of myself on panels in various cons all across the country, and you've heard me answer the question that you want to ask today, think of a new question. I like having new stuff to tell you, and so, I like being creative. It makes it more fun for everybody. So bring your thinking caps, think random and think fun, think something I can riff on, and let's get started. See a show of hands, and we'll have this lovely lady will pick for me. Please, if she does not pick you, and you've held your hand up the entire time, don't be mad at her, and don't be mad at anyone. It's not that I don't love you, I just didn't want to answer your stupid question. So, let's begin. Have at it, my love.
Can I fly with you?
Oh my god, a grill. Okay, I should have laid down the rules. Don't pick a grill. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Can I fly with you?
Can you fly?
Last episode, second season.
Oh god. But if you've seen the entire season, I think you know the answer to that question. Sorry. Just wasn't meant to be. Oh, everyone's like, aww. So cute. I know, I just disappointed everyone. Hi, sweetheart.
How do you feel about Matt Smith leaving Doctor Who?
Couldn't wait. That was my question. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Are you still videotaping? Yeah, I'm videotaping. Good.
I need a minute.
I need a minute too.
I love Matt Smith. Matt Smith is phenomenal as the Doctor, and I mean, who here among you are Doctor Who fans? That's awesome. The rest of you suck. No, I love Doctor Who. I've been watching it since I was a wee time traveler. And Matt Smith is without a doubt one of my all-time favorite incarnations of the Doctor. I think he really brought something extraordinary to the role. I think the writing during his first 2 seasons was just some of the best stuff they've ever done throughout the course of the show. I know a lot of people disagree with that assessment, but I don't care, you're wrong. I think Matt Smith is wonderful, and the fact that he's leaving is heartbreaking. It breaks both my hearts. But, that's Doctor Who. It's a show about frequent, violent change. So, I've been doing this, honey, I've been through so many Doctor changes where I'm like, there will always be a Tom Baker hole in my heart. There will always be, I'll always miss Tennant, I'll always miss Eccleston, but whatever. It's time, it's after 3 seasons, which is, I think, roughly the average for most people that have played the Doctor. It's time to move on and give us a new take on the role, because that's what the show is about. Let's see, as sad as I am to see Matt Smith leave, and I am very, very sad, I am excited to see where they will go with the next Doctor, because that's the fun of the show. Thank you for bringing up Doctor Who. Whenever that happens, my heart sings. Next question.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. Oh yeah, okay. So.
I don't have a question, I was just raising my hand to see if they actually come to me. And they were like, sucker.
I know, I was expecting that. Is the experience between playing antagonists and protagonists really different, and do you prefer one or the other?
Ooh. That's a good question. That is a sexy, sexy question. I will buy whatever you are selling. So, between playing protagonists and antagonists, oh, she used big words too, I love that. I have to say, I love playing heroes. I love playing protagonists because they generally get a lot more work. Because they're the main dude, so he's on screen all the time, yammering away. And they're fascinating creatures, protagonists. They're the center of the story for a reason, and getting to be the eye of that storm is always fun, especially if it's a really well-written show, or it's just an interesting show where the character goes through a number of startling changes that take you somewhere, both as an audience and as an actor when you're breathing life into it. But playing bad guys is such wonderful therapy. Because here's the thing about bad guys that I've learned in my career of playing bad guys, and I have played a lot of bastards. they don't see themselves as bad people. Generally, they don't. The villain that knows he's a villain is not very interesting. He's like the brat kid who's like, I hate everybody, so I'm gonna be the bad guy. It's fun and fine, but that's never as interesting as the bad guy that you find like, God, I hate everything he's doing, but when you look at it from his perspective, I kind of understand where he's coming from. And plus, there's when I say therapeutic, it's because, you know, there are many times in life where we go about doing things, maybe the way you speak to someone in public who's ticked you off. And there's that little voice in your head that says, I want to be a complete jerk to this person because today is just not the day to get my order wrong. Or today's not the day to be in front of me in line at a fast food place and go, I want... And the villain, your inner villain wants to come out and be like, destroy this person. But you can't do that. Society frowns on that. And it's good to keep that in check. But I mean, villains are, I think I've probably said this elsewhere too, but I love the idea of the villain, the really big, glorious, over-the-top, fun villains. Your Cruella de Vil's, let's just throw a name out there. Your Davros from Doctor Who, one of the greats. One of the great. That's the guy that created the Daleks. Come on. There's something wrong with him. He's like, Daleks, that's a great idea. I want to be known for this. That's a bad person talking. But those creatures, a critic, really fond of a literary critic named Harold Bloom, says that these great villains, like the Iagos and the Satan from Paradise Lost, the really great archetypical villains, are wonderful because they do what we can't, but we dream of doing. They are self-actualized creatures that know what they want and how to get it, and don't give a damn how many burning corpses they have to, traipse over to get there. And while it makes them really bad people, you have to admit, every now and again, you kind of wish you had that very straightforward nature relationship to what you want. To be like, you know what, I want this so bad that none of you matter. So it's interesting to play that, because you can't possibly be that in real life. You would have feelings of guilt, as well you should. But, it's interesting. And the villains that don't think of themselves as villains, the villains that really imagine what they're doing is to the purpose, to the good of humanity, or they're doing it, they have some mission in their heart. They're like, look, they're warped. They don't know what they're doing is bad, or they don't see it. They see it as being, I'm just being misunderstood. And so playing villains where that is typically, an element to their thinking process keeps you very sharp, and I think playing villains has made me a nicer real person, because I'm more alert to things. I'm like, I need to double check my thinking on this thing I'm very passionate about, because I may be being a jerk without knowing it, because I've played villains and I'm like, oh, that's so it's interesting. It gives you really interesting insight into yourself playing villains, I think, because they are typically so different than what we would do. They make very different choices and they have very different goals in life. So thank you. That's a very good question. Thank you. You have a fez. You win.
I know.
Fezzes are cool.
Fezzes are very cool. I'm a big fan of that anime show.
Oh, yeah.
And I was wondering, out of the episodes you haven't been there, are there any questions that you didn't get to answer that you really wanted to answer?
I think I've only been absent 2 episodes, I think, in our almost, God, is it 3 years now? 4 years? God, I have no, it's so much a part of my life that I forget how long we've been doing it, but we've done tons and tons and tons. And I've only ever been absent twice. And luckily, they were with people that we have interviewed before. They're returning guests. So my body knew when to get sick. No, I honestly can't. I don't. I wish I could tell you I put a lot of thought into what goes on with tasks. I don't. That's Terry's brainchild. I just show up and fly by the seat of my pants, like I do most of the time in all things. I'm a big believer in just showing up and finding out what happens. So like the most of you, I'm always fascinated, on the edge of my seat to hear what I will say next. So yeah, no, I don't, I'm sure if I gave it some thought, I'd be like, oh man, I would have asked that question, but I am so kind of in the moment that I'm just like, the questions typically arise out of the conversation I'm having with that person. So I don't know what I'm going to ask them until we've been talking for a few minutes, and then I want to go revisit a point that they've said or that. So I would have to be there to know what to ask, I suppose. So lucky me, no. Good question. Do you have another question? What? Oh, thank you. Who is this kid?
Question.
It's my little brother, everyone. My little brother Dakota. You're like, oh, Clem, he hasn't done anything. Yay, you were born. Good for you. oh, yes, pink hair.
The doctor becomes a female. What do you do?
Watch. That's what I do. I don't care. The doctor becomes a female rhinoceros. As long as he or she is ginger, I'm happy. Next. We have another question? Another question from someone? Yes? Yes?
Could you recite the dirty limerick with a French accent?
Now, by dirty limerick, I assume you mean the dirty limerick from Sebastian's line in Black Butler when he's making the Undertaker laugh.
Yes.
It's not a family-friendly dirty limerick. There's no real bad words in it, so I suppose I can say it. But a French accent? God, I hate you. I love the French, and now they hate me. Let's see. There once was a woman from Q who filled her vajayjay with glue. She said with a grin, if they pay to get in, they'll pay to get out of it too. That just happened. You're welcome. Another question? Oh crap, an okabe.
You, good sir, are a forgery and a sham, and I call you out as the organization agent that you are. What say you to these allegations?
I challenge you, who protests to my presence as being a forgery and a sham, to an evil scientist laugh-off. Count of 3. A 1, a 2, a 3. I win, you sucks it out. That was awesome, by the way. Brilliant.
Okay, slipping out of character now, I do have a question for you. I hear tell you got really emotional during the second half of the Steins Gate dubbing. I wanted some detail on that.
Oh my god. Yeah. How many Steins Gate fans? Oh my god, the lungs on you. Okay, so I'll be careful not to give out spoilers because it is a very spoilerific show if you're talking about, oh my god, in this one scene we're like, blah, 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 oh, what do you mean that Darth Vader is his father? It's that kind of show. For those of you that are not familiar with Steins Gate, let me describe my process on working on that show. Steins Gate is a phenomenal property. It is absolutely a work of art and was well before it was brought over here to be dubbed. I was fortunate enough to get to work as an adaptive writer on the show with Patrick Seitz, who is like my favorite writer to work with. He and I have dubbed or have written adaptive scripts for many shows together. He is an absolutely brilliant and talented and sublime writer, and he and I both fell in love with Steins Gate. We would get on the phone and talk about what we wanted to do with such and such character, how we wanted to handle such and such scene, and become 12-year-old girls. And Patrick is a big man. He's taller than me, and his voice is way down here like that. This is a terrible Patrick Seitz impression because my voice should be doing things to the foundation of this room if I were Patrick Seitz. And Patrick is like, oh my god, there's one scene, That's us talking about Steins Gate. So we got to write this show, and when we write a show, when we adapt, typically we get about 5 or 6 scripts done. That's 5 episodes worth of material done and turned in, and then they start auditioning and they start recording. So there is a great deal of overlap between the writing process and the recording process. For 3/4 of the show, you are writing it and recording it at the same time. Now, one thing I had never done before in my career as either an actor or an adaptive writer is play the lead in a show that I had also been the lead adaptive writer in. I will never do that to myself again. Well, no. Not because it wasn't an enormously rewarding experience, and when I cannot say this with enough thunder, that show changed me as a person. I am no longer the same human being I am. And that's not necessarily a good thing, by the way. But my experience at that show was intense. But when you're writing a show and you're in it, it's crazy because when you're in the booth, the pressure is all on you because you're like, oh, if this line doesn't work, it's either because I'm a crap actor or a crap writer. Sorry, Colleen! So it's really intense. But when you're working on Steins Gate, when the main character who you're writing, Okabe, is in every single scene and who speaks non-stop. I know, part I was born to play, I got. My day for the 6 to 8 months that we worked on this show was get up in the morning, go into the booth, record for 8 hours at a fever pitch, because Okabe is always at 10. Always. When he's at 9, something is wrong. And then, so recording at that, full voice for, intense, for 8 hours, come home and for another 5 or 6, sometimes 8, depending on the schedule, and write for another, stint. Go to sleep, get up, repeat process. For up to 8 months I did this. 8 months, where there is no time or space to shed that character. So everyone in my life knew I am just going to be Okabe for this amount of time, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry. And it became really, really hard to let go of him once it was time for us to wrap. Now, when we were recording this show, about halfway through, there's a really, really intense change of timbre, and that is when the show goes from being quirky and funny, but mysterious, to, oh my God, this is raw and emotional and dark and crazy, and strap in, because if you're not into the show by episode 12, you will be, and block off the rest of your weekend because you'll be watching. And it happens, and during that episode, actually one following it, it's 2 episodes later, there's a scene where, without giving spoilers away, basically the show is about time travel, and it starts out being kind of funny, an exploration of my God, what would you do if you could time travel and go back and change the past, or accidentally, and what are some of the repercussions? When, during the course of the show, those repercussions become extraordinarily dark and profound for the characters involved, it gets extraordinarily emotional. And Okabe goes from being an arrogant, funny, over-the-top kind of character to having to shed that skin progressively more and more until he is just a raw, emotional wreck. And yes, there is love and death and blood and endings and beginnings. I mean, it is insanely, insanely intense. And I had written this particular scene about 2 months before it was recorded, and I had a small breakdown in my office at home when I wrote the scene because it just got to me. And you know the scene I'm talking about. I'll just say it's when he's in the car and he is pleading at peril to his life for the life of someone else. And he's crying, he's begging someone not to do something that he knows is going to end terribly for everyone. And the scene just got me. When I saw it to write it, I shed a tear, I got a lump in my throat. I thought, oh my God, I do not want to write this. But I want to write this. So I wrote it, and then 2-3 months later, it was in the booth and we had to record it. And when I had to record it, I already knew the scene, I knew what was going on, I had context, and something just happened, and it was this weird thing that just suddenly the wall between me and Okabe was completely obliterated during that scene. And I found myself in the booth pleading and crying and meaning every word of it, and it was weird, and I had to stop, and Colleen, the director, was like, are you okay? And I was crying, and I'm like, no, God, even just talking about it now, I get chills and I get like kind of freaked out about it. No, oh, look at him, he's so vulnerable. Shut up. It was hell. And I was just in the booth, and I left the booth. I mean, I politely said, Colleen, just give me 5 minutes. I need to go splash some water on my face. I need to find Michael again because I can't find him right now. And I walked out of the booth. 5 minutes later, came back and was like, all right, let's do this again. She's like, oh, no, baby, we got it in one take. I'm like, oh, thank God, because I don't want to do that again. But all of us working on that show had a similar experience. Trina had a similar experience working on that show where she had a breakdown. It's just that kind of show where it just brought out the best in all of us, I think. And getting to write that show and getting to play the lead is just an intense experience. And again, one of the most rewarding. I've said before that I don't really play the favorites game a lot because I'm very like, well, whatever I'm working on at the moment is my favorite because what I do is a lot of fun and I love it, and I'm human, so I love everything. Everything's my favorite. If I had to choose like at gunpoint, it is without question Steins Gate. Thank you for letting me tell that story. Thank you. Oh my God. Another question. Do you want to pick? Oh, just all right. Wow, fine. Be a jerk. I'm telling Mom.
Okay, I have a really personal question, I guess.
Unlike the last one.
Whatever.
My shoe size is 13.
Pant size.
None of your business.
I was wondering, since I am bisexual and from the gay community and everything, you've talked about you have a partner and you've been together with him for a certain number of years.
12, which in like gay years is like our diamond jubilee. I love that. Hooray, you're gay. Good for you. Sorry. No, thank you. That means a lot to us, actually. Sorry, go on.
I was wondering if there was any personal story of when you came out or when you came to terms with your actual acceptance of it.
Yes. My favorite coming out story, and any of you out there that are part of the LGBT community it's not just one coming out story. You have a volley of them because you have to come out to everyone individually. Unless you have like a Bond villain layer and you're like, I've gathered you all here. No, it doesn't work out that way. I really wish I'd have done it that way, and I think I'm going to write a manual on how to come out to all your friends and family at once. So they're like, oh my God, what's going on? And anyone that's out there gets the pit. I was 17 when I'll tell the quick version of everything else. I was 16 actually when I came out to my mother, who just kind of knew. No one in my family was terribly surprised to learn that I was gay. I was such a strange child in so many other respects that I think my family were like, oh, thank God you're not a serial killer. Gay we can deal with, at least you're not wearing dead animals on your face. So there was that. But my mother she knew, her sister was gay, and so and I reminded her a lot of her sisters, so she was like, are you? I'm like, yeah, okay. It was just and she was like a mother. She was worried for me, thinking that I would have to, fight a lot for just the right to exist, and I did, but she loved me nonetheless. My brother, everyone else in my family was remarkably supportive, because I come from a rather weird family. We're all kind of strange. Shut up. We're all kind of strange, so being gay was like, no big deal. But the one person I really sweated about coming out to was my father. Shh. Shut up. I hate you so much right now. My dad I'm more like my father than anyone else in the family, and my father is a strange character. He's inscrutable, though. You cannot tell what he's thinking if he does not want you to know. He's remarkably intelligent, scarily good at reading people, and no, he does not suffer fools gladly. So dealing with my father can be a rather, edifying experience and terrifying at the same time. And he was the last person in my family that I came out to because I simply didn't know how he would take it. I thought, my God, I just don't know how he's going to feel about this. I've never heard him talk about what he feels about gay people, what he would feel about having a gay son. So I decided I need to tell him. My mother actually said, you need to tell him before I accidentally break the news, because I swear to God, one day I'm going to talk about one of your boyfriends and your father's going to be like, ooh, pourquoi? So I decided to take my father out to dinner. I said, Dad, I I'd like to take you out for dinner. And he's like, what's wrong? Instantly suspicious. And it could have been his birthday and he would still been, what have you done? So I take him out to dinner. Mind you, I had this whole monologue I've been rehearsing for weeks in my head of how, you know, those monologues you have where you just hope it plays out like you remember it in your head but the other person can't interject at all or you lose your steam. That was what's going on in my head, and we go to his favorite Mexican food restaurant where everybody knows us, and we're having some beers. I was 22. That's how long I waited, from 16 to 22. That's how many years that it took for me to come out to my father because I was so frightened of the idea. And we're sitting, and I'm like, so Dad, he's like, let me stop you. Let's enjoy our meal first, and when we're done, you can tell me whatever this deep, dark secret is. But I want to enjoy this meal, so let's just, eat your enchiladas and your nachos and drink your Dos Equis and just shut up. So I'm like, well, this is off to a smashing start, isn't it? I'm eating away, when we're done, we had a couple of beers, I might have had more than a couple, and Dad's like, all right, out with it. What's going on? What's this about? I can tell it's bothering you, whatever it is, so let's just deep breath. Come out with it. I'm your father. What's going on? I start talking. He interrupts me. Hang on. Are you in trouble with the law? No. Have you gotten someone pregnant? No. Are you on drugs? Have you killed somebody? I mean, he starts then going through this ludicrous laundry list of the worst possible things it could be, up to and including, I might add, have you run afoul of an evil wizard? So by now, I am so mad at him for not letting me speak that I'm like, will you just let me speak? He's like, this isn't about you being gay, is it? Because I totally know. And after oh no, it gets better. Once the relief is washed away, I'm like, the hell do you mean you just know? What do you mean? Like, is there just something about me? And he goes, oh yeah. And he goes, he's like, well, it's just, you've always been kind of theatrical, and you never really dated many girls in high school, even though you're an attractive guy. And I think that one time when you were 16, you were making out with that fella on the couch in the middle of the night that I walked in on. It was a dead giveaway. I thought, I had to search my memory banks. Which guy? Oh my God, you saw that? Yeah. He's like, yeah, got up in the middle of the night. You thought I was asleep. I got up in the middle of the night to get some orange juice out of the fridge, walked out, saw you, I'm like, nope, going back to bed. And I said, so here I are, 22 years old, going, oh my God, you just saw me making out with a dude on the couch when I was 16. This was your inauguration into your son being gay. Why the hell didn't you say something then? He was like, hey, you were getting some, I didn't want to cramp your style. That is my favorite coming out story. My dad is a lovely human being. I will always love my dad for that. And for those of you who are dealing with similar issues of coming out and you don't have a dad like that, find one. They're out there. Trust me. Thank you so much, my dear, and good luck to you. My little brother picked good questions.
I thought he was lying about that.
If you could be any kind of cat, what kind of cat would you be?
Oh my God, I would be the lion cub out front because everyone's like, oh. I would be him. He's fat, they just feed him all day. He apparently drinks his weight in this formula and just fat and happy. But that's every cat. I love cats because cats are not pets, cats are roommates. Cats are roommates that are like, I can see the bottom of my food bowl, ergo, I'm going to starve. I need new food immediately. You don't understand, I don't want the door, I don't want to go in or out, I just want the damn door open. A little bit like me. All right, another question. Dakota, pick away. He's so fashionable.
Yes. Hello. Of all the characters, if all of the characters that you voiced, or
No, there we go.
who would win in a fight?
Oh god.
Who would win in a fight of all?
Yeah.
What they say. Probably, well, Sebastian would win if CL was there to say, I order you to win. But if CL wasn't there, I don't know. Probably, can I just say, this answer is gonna piss off a lot of people. I think the person who would win in a fight would be Isaac from Bacano. Because like one of my favorite Shakespearean creations, Sir John Falstaff, he would find a creative way to run away. Live to fight another day, Miriam, my dear. Another question. You're walking away from them. What's come up here? What's happening? Oh, okay. He's trying to be thorough, everyone.
Okay, you know how fandoms have like favorite ships of characters and such?
No idea what you're talking about.
But no, I was wondering what was one of your favorite ships of some of your characters with like maybe Vic or someone's character?
Oh my god, everyone's like, Kyoya and Tamaki, Kyoya and Tamaki. No, Kyoya and the twins. Kyoya and the twins all the way. 2 for the price of 1, and I love me some redheads. Sit down, all of you who are cosplaying Grell. I don't know. I think Kyoya and the twins is probably my favorite, but I also like Sebastian and Grell. I will say, because I love me some Grell. I do love me some Grell. France and England. Because Scott Freeman is hot.
Yes.
And any chance I get to make out with a character played by Todd Haberkorn is a good day. So anything. Domaki and Watanuki from Holly. That's actually my favorite pairing. There you go. There it is. Another question. He's like, taking his sweet time.
If Sebastian got a TARDIS, where would he go?
Wait, if Sebastian what?
Got the TARDIS.
Got the what?
The TARDIS!
Oh, the TARDIS! Oh my god. Probably back in time to rethink what happened in season 2 that wound him up where he is now. You'd be like, oh no, Hannah, you little whore.
You don't know.
Another question. Who's got another question? What's going on? What's going on? What? Happening? Question runners? Oh my god, she's sprinting.
Can you imitate Sebastian if he were to cry?
Imitating Sebastian if he were to cry? God. No, he could cry. He could cry. He could pretend. I don't know. What would, first of all, I'm not a good crier. I have to be. Oh, and you're filming this. I love this. How sick is this? Could you cry for me? Oh my god. You people. I don't know what he would say. He would be like, oh my god. I don't know how to say this to Grell, but please leave me alone. I feel bad making you sit on the ledge there. You're like, wee. Oh. Off my lap, little brother. Oh my god, people will talk. You see what kind of people we're dealing with, right? Oh my god. Shut up. Yes.
So the characters you voice, are they your favorite characters, or are the other characters in the anime you like more?
Ah, that's a good question. Again, with the favorites thing, it's hard to play favorites, but yeah, there are many things I've done where I love the characters I'm not playing even more than the characters I am. That is the case in Spice and Wolf, for example. I love Spice and Wolf, and I love Lawrence, and Lawrence is one of my absolute, he's just a joy to bring to life. And those scripts are so amazing. Oh my god, Jamie Markey, who wrote the adaptive scripts for that series, and who also played Chloe in season 1, and who directed much of season 1. She's here this weekend. Please tell her you love Spice and Wolf. It will mean a lot to her. But Holo? In that series, Holo is a remarkable creation, and I love her, and the way Brina Palencia plays Holo is one of my all-time favorite things. So, yes, Holo, definitely. Thank you, sweetie. Good question. Got music going on. I feel like we should be dancing. For that awkward time between questions where we're like, hi.
What do you think would happen if Bruce Wayne hired Sebastian instead of Alfred as his butler?
Ow, that just gets me right here. Oh, wow, that would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? Because, I mean, Sebastian would probably belong more with Ra's al Ghul. Demon, anyone else? Everyone's like, what? Everyone's like, CL! We're talking about the Batman universe. Although CL would make a really kick-ass Robin. Yeah, I don't know. I think, well, I mean, come on, let's face it. You know, Alfred is old and, you know, and well, he's wonderful, and I love Alfred, and Bruce Wayne simply would not be Bruce Wayne, nor Batman without Alfred. With a demon butler, who can say? I don't know. God, someone please write that fanfic, I want to read it. Someone's like, I got you. Love this. I love everything about this. La 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 la. God, she sprints. Oh crap, you picked a France!
Oh, Jesus.
Bonjour. Non?
What?
Jetons du vide, celui-là totalement? Prenez, soumis, l'avion?
I don't speak that much French.
Oh, sucks to be you. What's your question, love?
I was wondering, like, what, like, your, like, favorite part of something, like, being, like, French, being France and Italia was.
My favorite part of getting to be France and Italia is getting to do that ridiculous accent. Because an accent is hilarious. And it does things to you. You have to move a certain way and you become just a little gayer somehow doing that accent. Please understand, let me just make this disclaimer. That is not how actual French people talk. That is a horribly stereotypical way. And there's probably a couple people in Paris that talk like that, but they're the exceptions to the rule. Please, I want to go back to France one day, and they all hate me right now. But God, they love me in Canada. They love me. They're like, do the French accent. Good. Oh my God, that's awesome. We hate the Parisians. Oh. All right.
I was just wondering, are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Oh my God. Yes, but I'm not caught up with the current season. So blah, 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 blah. Spoilers. God, that's my biggest thing. Yeah, I love Game of Thrones. Love it. I think it's really, really hot. Now the question. 10 minutes? Oh, we have 10 minutes. Okay, so I have time for maybe a couple more questions. Oh, it has to end sometime. We all have to go to the bathroom. Hello.
Hi. Okay, so my question is, first off, it's for you and for Sebastian. What do you think of Aloysius, Claude, and Hannah of season 2?
Brat, jerk. Sebastian, brat, jerk, nice rack. Oh, the things I say. I love with each question, more people leave the room. Yes. Oh, hello, love.
Hi. How do you feel about David Tennant gonna be in the 50th anniversary special of Doctor Who?
I love it. Bring them on. Bring all the doctors back. Bring all of them. Oh my God. Yes, Tennant is lovely. Lovely, lovely man. And he was a great doctor. Oh, I'm so sad. Matt's please. It's okay. We'll endure. Hello.
Hello. I just came in, but I heard you say something about Kyoya and the twins. I know there's 2 sets of twins running around here somewhere.
Where are they?
I have no idea.
Are they here? Are they here?
I have no idea.
Are they here?
I don't know, but there was 2 of them.
Boy twins or girl twins?
Girls. The twins. I don't know if they were boys.
You're like, I don't know, they're twins.
I don't know. They're the twins.
They're actually girls dressed as twins. They're my roommates.
Oh, they're girls? It's a nice thought. Huh? Well, eventually I would be able to. I did run into two actual twins, guys, cute guys, redheads. They looked like them. They weren't really cosplaying. I mean, they were, but they didn't need to be. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so hot. Can I get a picture with you? And then pretended just to creep them out that I had no idea what they were cosplaying. I'm like, oh my God, can I get a picture with you? Oh my God, you are so great. Y'all look fantastic. What are y'all from? It was great. Oh, we have another question?
Okay, so I've heard like a couple different voice actors talking about it, but some of the voice actors from Oron really loved like recording it because it was so fast paced and they would never had a chance to break. And then some of them really hated it for the exact same reason. So what was your take on it?
I loved it. I loved the fast pace. I mean, because that was crazy. It was a lot of pressure because I came in kind of last to record on the first few episodes we did because I was out of town when I got the part. And so like, well, that's okay. We'll just put you in there after everyone else has recorded. So you'll be the last one. But when you're the last one to record, oh my God, it's like, okay, you can't be sick. You can't take you have to be here. You have to finish everything because you are the last thing we have to get, which means it's all on you. And but I loved it because I got to play off of everyone else's performance because they had already laid down track on it. So I loved it. I thought it was great. Plus, Caitlin is a joy to work with as both an actress and as a director because she loves that show. Whenever you say Oron, Caitlin is there with you in spirit. It's wonderful. Another question.
Okay, from every single character you've done, what two universes would you combine together?
What two universes would I combine together from all the shows I've done? The Baccano universe and the Holic universe. Would be fantastic. I would love to see what hijinks would ensue if Isaac and Miria paid a visit to Yuko. Right? Right. 5 minutes, okay.
Okay. My question was, since you're gay, if you had to have sex with a woman, who would you pick?
Everyone had me. No. Alex Kingston, aka River Song.
Yes.
I got to meet her once. And because of all of you wonderful people, she wanted to meet me. We were at a con together, and she was signing a couple tables away, and I'm like, oh my God, that dog seems like... And I was like terribly nervous. So I turned to my handler and said, if there's ever a time to go and like say hi to her when it's not inconvenient, I'm not being that guy, I would love just to tell her how beautiful she is, because she's even more ravishing in person than she is on screen. And that is saying something because she's a vision. All my fans were coming through my line, and of course they know I'm at Hoovie, and so like, oh my God, that's Alex Kingston right over there. And we were geeking out together going, oh my God, I know that's Alex Kingston, oh my God, oh my God. They would then go to her line and be like, that guy over there is your biggest fan in the world, get him to do his British accent for you. So later that night, I meet her in the green room, and she's like, oh my God, you're Michael, do the accent. My favorite part of that exchange, we hung out all night long and like, you know, with everyone else, and it was really fun. We had gin and tonics together, and then at some point the dancing, they played a cha-cha. This rhythm comes on. She springs to life and grabs me by the arm and goes, oh my God, and I'm like, no, sweetie, I don't dance. She's like, neither do I, and I'm in heels, you have no argument. So I danced with River Song, as you do. All right, I think, how much time do we have? I have time for 2 more questions. Make them good ones.
Okay.
Oh God, I'm gonna regret this. You're like prepared.
I've been waiting since the beginning of this. So, watching a video on YouTube, I saw that you went from a Black Butler recording to a Hitalia recording, and I heard a little story about a blue Snuggie.
The blue Snuggie. That wasn't a question, that was a series of statements, by the way, but that's okay. Yeah, the Blue Snuggie story. I was doing Sebastian for, recording Sebastian. I'd had to leave him behind on the same day to record a bit of Italia. So going from this, hello, how are you, I'm Sebastian, to this, hello, how are you, I'm Francois, is sometimes very difficult to do, as I learned that day, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't find the accent. It kept coming out British, and I was like freaking out because Scott Sager, the show's director, was like, what the hell's wrong with you? You've been doing this for 2 years. Why have you suddenly lost it? And I'm like, I don't know. Hey, Scott, there's a blue Snuggie on the floor. I don't know why. It looks ridiculous. But I'm getting this weird kind of Frosty the Snowman magic top hat vibe. I'm gonna put it on, and indeed I did, and there was the accent. And thereafter, every time I recorded France, I had to wear the blue Snuggie. And if we record more, the blue Snuggie is still tucked away in a drawer at Funimation, ready to be used again. They didn't trust me to take it home. They thought I'd burn it, and I would have. All right, I have time for one more question.
Why don't you pick the person?
Oh, why don't I pick? Oh, I hate this. Now you're all gonna hate me. My lovely assistant here in the front row, Christina. I would love to hear what this wonderful fellow scientist has to say.
Okay. Do you prefer Domino's pizza or Papa
Oh.
John's? There was a dispute on the way up here.
Domino's pizza or what?
Papa John's.
Oh, Domino's. Papa John's is crap.
I agree with you. That's
One more
right,
question,
man.
one more question. We have one more time for one more question. Oh my god, pick someone. You do it, It's all you. I hate picking.
Love you.
Oh, yes!
Oh my god, I love you so much, I'm sorry. Okay.
Not as sorry as I am. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You heard about me being gay, right? It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Okay, what's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero?
Yeah!
Thor. All right, that's a good closer. Yes, thank you all so much for coming. I have to run to an autograph signing session immediately, so please forgive me if I just disappear. I love you all. I also have to make a letter of the alphabet, and it's not the letter poop.
Look at